It is incredible that the axle shaft can be repaired by splicing, but that they use anchor nails for repair. Such operation will make even the parts dealers dumbfounded. The large semi-trailer in Peshawar that has just been unloaded has a broken axle shaft due to excessive pulling. Obviously, this kind of damage that is mostly broken cannot withstand the torque by glue bonding. In order to make the broken axle shaft meet the use standard, FU first needs to solve the problem of flange plate fracture so that the flange plate can be fixed with claw plate later. Considering that the flange fracture surface is very rough, it is necessary to use an angle grinder for simple modification before repair. Not only can the flange be more horizontally connected, but the groove polished in step can also increase the welding area to improve the overall splicing strength of the axle shaft flange. If you want the repaired axle shaft to be more durable, rigorous work must not be reduced at all. This is also the reason why the master repeatedly measured with his toes. After the measurement is correct, the gap is welded with welding rods. The main purpose is to prevent the splice flange from shifting. However, it is definitely not usable to rely on the groove welding alone. In order to make the inside of the section also bear the force, the master directly used a threaded rod to make a horizontal cut. Although the hole was not large, it could directly change the direction of the force, which could prevent the spliced flange from breaking again and increase the welding points of the two. Then the large anchor was embedded into the hole and firmly stuck by the knocking of the wolf head. The anchor was welded and filled with welding rods around it. In this way, even when the flange is subjected to transmission distortion, the pulling of the anchor can also provide protection for the spliced flange. Then it can be fixed on the claw plate. Only in this way can the elbow feel and the claw plate remain concentric. Considering that the two broken elbows cannot be concentric and coaxial, the edge of the part that affects the docking must be carefully marked and polished. Of course, this will lose the length of the elbow, which can be compensated by welding later. After grinding, with the help of the lathe center frame, it can be freely extended to restore the original length. When it is confirmed that there is no error in the horizontality of the two docking, the length problem of the entire half shaft is solved. Then you only need to use welding rods to fill the support mouth. Although this repair is all grinding and welding, the key point of half-axle splicing is concentricity and strength, which is a test of the basic skills of an 8th level front end. The splice shaft cannot be welded from the inside to the outside. In order to increase the strength of the oblique splicing, the master can only drill holes and chamfer the overlapped parts. When the hole position can be completely penetrated, special anchor nails can be used to reinforce it. As long as the mine does not slip, there are really many ways to repair it. It is the creativity of the Pakistani people. Although the repair equipment of the repair shop is relatively limited, their wisdom is unlimited. After the master quickly welded the hole position, the original shaft diameter was used as the processing standard. The excess welding bar was processed to the same shaft diameter. The surface of the hanba was completely eliminated, but because the hanba of the flange would affect the fixation of the shaft head in order to prevent the existence of gaps when the luochuan was fixed, the remaining hanba was also cut and adjusted by the Lowen knife. It was necessary to ensure that the original exterior data would not be changed and the surface should be smooth and flat, because the crack of the flange just penetrated the bolt hole. As for the welding bar on the inside, it needs to be repeatedly polished by a straight grinder. The bolts cannot be fixed securely. This severely damaged rear axle shaft has been simply spliced and repaired. What do you think of the anchoring technology of the Pakistani master?